Hello everyone, I have a new item that arrived today from EVbase. So let's open up the packaging and see what we got. Pretty nondescript cardboard box, EVbase Tesla EV accessories. Let's open this one up. Inside we have a letter to the customer thanking them for their purchase. We have a QR code for the warranty and support. If you use the QR code, you get a 1-year extended warranty. So, very good. We have a couple things in here. We have a magnetic car mount wireless charger, 15 watts. And let's see what the other item is. It's not marked. So let's look at this one first and see how it comes out of the box. Looks like, oh, just a sleeve. And we have a little bag here that has a number of items inside. We have an instruction guide right here. We got a measurement, probably for placement of the mount. We have wipes, wet and dry wipes to clean the area. And then we have a number of, appears to be magnets for the surface. So we'll see how those work out in a little bit. Inside this bag is the magnetic mount itself. Got a twisting lock on the back. We have a USB-A to USB-C cable. And then this, I'm not sure exactly what this is, but I'm guessing this is the, so this is the mount here, the ball mount for this. I guess we will take this off, put this on here, and then tighten it up. And this looks like it has adjustments for the locking mechanism. So we'll see how this works out. And that's it for this box. And then let's see what we have here. All right, another magnet ring. We have my favorite plastic pry bars for removing trim. This looks like a harness for the power and data. This says AMD. So this is an AMD connection. Actually, I'm not going to be able to use this on my car because I have the Intel. So, well, I'll probably have to switch this out to a different adapter, and I'll get back to you on that. What else do we have in here? Looks like a little controller box. Nothing on it. And here is the display itself. Got a protective plastic on it. I'm going to leave that on. We have a USB-C power, and the back of it's got a matte finish. The rim is metal, and if we check it out, this will attach to this mount like so. And that's all the pieces we have for right now. So with the controller box and the cable, you'll attach it like this. It'll snap into place. And this will be a Bluetooth transmitter that this will receive. And then this connects to the CPU connections on the car, and this will provide the data and power that this needs to work. When I was doing the unboxing, I showed you the cable for the AMD setup if your car has an AMD computer. Mine doesn't, since mine's a 2018, and I was sent a replacement harness, and this one supports Intel. And as you can see, it's a little bit simpler in design. I think there's one less connection. AMD requires 2 connections. This one only requires 1, and then this part attaches to the transmitter. So now that I have everything I need, I can go to the car and start the installation. So we have a 2-part install. We have the actual device itself that we're going to mount near the steering wheel, and then we have the cable harness and transmitter that we're going to mount right inside this area on the passenger side by the footwell. There's the computer there, and I have to attach this to that connection. So I currently have a few other things attached to it. I have my driver's screen on, so I'm going to what you call daisy chain these. I'm going to connect this to the existing adapter so it will get powered and transfer the information. So that's what I'm going to do now. At this point, it's a good idea to shut the car down. So go into the main menu, go to safety, and then power off. To access this area under here, we have to take off some trim pieces here and also on the door sill. So let me do those now. We have to pop out this trim clip here. And now this whole section can come out. Angle it. Sometimes this trim clip can be a little sticky. Next, we have to unclip a number of these trim clips to pull this whole panel down. All right, so that comes down. You can detach this if you'd like. There's a light and a speaker here, but, well, you know what? I'll take them out for now just to give you a clear demonstration of how this works. And then this one pops out at the top. Remove this panel. And now we have access to the area where the CPU is. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here is the CPU. We're going to go to the second plug from the bottom, and it's going to be roughly the size of this. We're going to take that plug out and then insert it into this. So going from male to the female socket. And then this is going to attach to the opening on the CPU. So it's called the daisy chain. And then this end here gets connected to the transmitter. In fact, I can attach that right now. So it'll get inserted like that. Click into place. So, since I already have one of these installed up here, I'm just going to attach it to the male of that adapter, to the female of this adapter, and so on. So I'll place this, and so I got 2 of these Y adapters installed. This is the plug that I need to take out right there. I admit this is super hard to see. It is a very tight area underneath here, but we have the 2 adapters connected here. We have the male and female on the new one and to the male and the female on the original one. As far as the transmitter, just take this and tuck it in underneath here. So when we put the panel back on, it stays in place. If you want, you could take a twist tie and tie it to the plastic if you want it to be a little more secure. And when we're done, we snap the underside area of the glove box back in. Make sure that you attach both the cables for the light and the speaker. Then we place the threshold side trim here in place, snap it in, and then insert the trim clip under here. Place this trim piece on, snaps in. This one also snaps in, and then the last one right on the corner. And then everything is back where it should be. And now for the next part of the installation, we need to place this wireless charger into the vents, and then we are going to connect a USB to the car. It does come with a little over 3-foot USB-C to USB-A cable. I wish they had included a 6-foot cable. It would have been much more useful. But I'll show a quick attachment of the USB cable and show you how to route it to the center console. But first, we're going to take this and install it. I am going to place it roughly around here, but you can place it anywhere along the vents. You can even place it right in front of the steering wheel. Ideally, if you had one of these driver displays, you wouldn't really need this. So just imagine I didn't have the driver display here. This would be like a mini driver display. You could put this directly in front of the steering wheel and have the information right in front of you. And the nice thing about this is that it's so small that it's not going to block the air vents. So what I'm going to do is just place it in here. All you need to do is put the pins through the opening, and then you're going to push it to the left. And then on the top, you're going to turn the screw and it will lock into place. Then you can adjust the display wherever you'd like it, where it's most convenient for you. So let me show you one more time close up how I did that. So I'm going to unscrew it, push it to the right and up. Here's a better view of the vent openings here. Place the pins in, push to the left, and then start turning. And then you'll feel enough pressure that it stops, and then it's locked into place. This will not move. Then you can move this like that. Now we take the USB-C cable, and then we turn the mount till we see the port under here. So we attach that, and now this will be a charging port. For example, if you remove this screen, you can still use this as a charging pad for a phone. So here we have the USB cable attached. What I did is I just did a routing behind the steering wheel, out the other side, down and across to the center console area. I need a little bit longer cable so I can hide it behind the trim. I have a 2018 Model 3 and my USB ports are in the front of this storage area. If you have a newer car, they are towards this side. So you would definitely need, I think, a longer cable if you want to reach those. I would say a 5 or 6 foot cable would be better in this application. So it's a little bit messy right now, but it does the job. And as you can see, it is powered. The LED ring around the outside is showing that it has power and can charge. For example, I'm going to place a phone on the charger and notice that it is now charging. So this is actually a great phone mount location if you want to charge your phone and be able to access it. But we are going to take this off because we're going to see what the main point of this is. We take the display And note that there's a charge port underneath, so you could run it directly from a USB-C cable right there. But I'm going to place this so it is on the plate. And notice that it is powered. And it instantly starts showing the information. The display is now on, and we're on the default screen, which in park has a picture of the car, the speedometer up top, and the gear selector on the right. And then on the bottom, we have the miles remaining and the state of charge in percentage. If you want to get into the menu, you just double tap in the center. And then these are some controls that you have. I'll start at the first one here. This is the frunk. So if I press that button, my power frunk will open. If I press the button again, it will close. Then I have the trunk button here that will open the trunk. And if you have a power trunk on the newer refresh models, that will open and close your trunk. And this button down here is for the glove box. So if I press that button, the glove box will open. Obviously, you have to manually close it. The button on top is the lock. That will unlock and open the passenger door. So if I press that, you'll see the passenger door is now slightly open. You need to manually close it, of course. And the last button that we have right here is for the battery heater. So I will press this button, and note on the app, you'll see the little icon come up right next to the percentage. So let me press that. And note the battery heater is now on. Then you can press it again. And it turns off. And to get out of this menu, just press the center return button right here, and they're at the main screen again. Another interesting thing I found is that on the steering wheel, the right scroll wheel button, if you press it towards the right, it will bring up a menu. There's not a whole lot to change. There is language and theme. You use the up and down on the scroll to switch between them. For example, on language now, if I press the right button, it'll cycle through all the different languages. If I scroll down, now I'm on theme, and it's set for auto. And in auto mode, it will follow what the main screen is doing. So if I press it towards the right, I am now in light mode. Go back into the menu, go down again, and click to the right again. I'm now in dark mode. So you can switch from auto to light to dark. And to exit the menu, you just press to the left and it exits. One thing I noticed is that the brightness on the main screen directly controls the brightness on the little round screen. So if I turn the brightness all the way down, you'll notice that the brightness also turns down. Here's midway, and that's full brightness. If you're parking your car and you don't want the display to be seen, you can just remove it and place it in the glove box or under the armrest, and nobody can see it. So here's some views of it. And like I said, you can position this anywhere along the dashboard, Could even go all the way on the passenger side if you wish. All it needs is just the vent openings here to connect to, and you're all set. And since this is wireless, when we remove it, power will disappear because this does not provide power or have a battery inside it. So you need to have some sort of charging or directly connect a USB to the outlet here. So let me show you what it looks like when it is disconnected here. Take this off the mount and just connect it like this. So yeah, so you can direct connect it or place it on the magnetic charging mount. It's up to you how you want to do it. In fact, if you just want to have it like this, it's just as easy as using the mount. Though I suggest connecting it to the mount if you want to use a phone on this mount to charge, then that's a good idea. Let's see what it looks like on the road. And now I'm getting ready to drive. I have the camera mounted so you can see the new HUD display. Let me go into that a little bit. This is technically not a HUD. A HUD or heads-up display would be something that's displayed on the windshield itself. This is kind of HUD-like, but lower on the screen. Kind of gives you the information you would see on a windshield HUD. So let's go in, put it in gear. Right now you can see it's in park. And then once we go into reverse, the display for the car changes. So if you open the door or trunk, it'll show up on this screen. And like I mentioned before, it shows the status of the lights. We have the headlights on. And let's do some driving here. I'm backing down my driveway. I can get out my driveway. We are clear. All right, so one thing I've noticed that when you're driving, the speedometer shows the number for miles per hour along with a little graph on the side of the screen. You can see that that's growing the faster you go. Actually, you know what? The graph on the right of the screen and the left of the screen is showing your power. So when I press the accelerator, it goes way up. And when I let go and do regen, you can see the left gauge shows how heavy the regen is. So let me get to this stoplight here and stop. And if you notice, it now shows the car in that behind the view mode. So let's accelerate. So yes, like I mentioned, like a HUD on a windshield, it gives you the basic information. You have your gear selector showing drive. It has the information of how many miles remaining on the charge, 162. Stated charge is 56%. So very handy having those numbers readily available, along with the speed that you're going at the top of the screen and a display of the car. So let's see if it does anything different if you put the car into autopilot. We got Rainbow Road going on. And I just got out of autopilot. So yes, so it does show autopilot mode here. So let's put it in autopilot again. Oh, gotta go at least, let me go to at least 30 miles an hour. And yes, so it shows it is in autopilot. You have the little blue steering wheel icon on the screen along with the blue lines on either side of the car. And in this case, I have the Rainbow Road effect going on, which is pretty noticeable. One thing I'm trying to notice is if it gives you a warning on the screen to grab your steering wheel. Let's see if it does that. Yeah, so it doesn't give you a flashing warning when it suggests you need to touch the steering wheel. So that would be nice if this blinked like a blue color for when you needed to do that. So maybe that's something they can do in a future update. So interesting, it doesn't give any information. For example, I'm in hold mode right now as I'm stopped. It doesn't show hold mode on here. That would be nice if it showed some additional warning screens on here. That would be nice. And I also must say that the speedometer number here follows what's shown on the driver's screen. So it is very accurate. It's getting the same signal that the main screen gets, so it should provide the same information. And I can confirm that you can use multiple devices hooked up to the computer. Let me show you that. For example, my driver screen is also getting data from the same location that the main screen is getting. So you can run power and data to the center screen, a driver screen, and also this HUD, all at the same time. So what are my thoughts? I think it's a very neat device. If I didn't have my driver screen here, this would be a nice alternative to have in front of the steering wheel. You want something small and unobtrusive that doesn't block the vents. This is a good solution if you just want basic information such as the speed and gear and state of charge. This provides it. It's also very flexible in positioning. As you saw, I can mount this anywhere on the vents all across the dash. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So if you're interested in this item, look at the link in the video description. I do have a code for Ranger, which gets you 20% off any EVbase purchase. So I suggest using that. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.